My mom has two favorite sayings. One, make good choices. And two, put yourself in other people's shoes. If it hurts you, it probably hurts them too. The first saying may or may not have came more into existence after I got my license and maybe a couple instances later. But the second phrase was one that I grew up with, and it's been around as long as I can remember from her. When I was younger, I used these in really smaller ways since I didn't really understand. I would use it in like, oh, well, you know what? I want candy, so he wants candy too. And I use that a lot with my little sister. For an example, when I was in elementary school, I was running on the playground and a younger boy in my class accidentally ran into me and we both fell. And instead of using my mom's phrase and putting myself in his shoes and realizing, hey, it was an accident, it's okay, we could brush it off, I yelled the phrase at him and asked him how he thought that I felt when he ran into me. That led to a bunch of tears from both of us, and it was not a good day. As I got older, I thought about this phrase on a more complex level, as most people probably do. And it started interesting me more. I would ask questions like, why is everyone so different with their perspectives? How do people think I perceive them, and do they care? How do people perceive me? And finally, how do I perceive myself? Although these are common everyday questions that almost everyone has, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, it could be more easily understood through the attribution theory. Heider created the attribution theory, and he believed that people observed, analyzed, and explained their own and others' behaviors with explanations. These explanations could be from internal, like traits or characteristics, or external causes, like the setting. For an example, most people have a social media platform like Instagram or Facebook where you can post pictures and statuses, and you could get different likes or favorites on them. If someone was using an external cause, it would most likely be in a negative way or a negative reaction from their post. They did not get as many likes as they wanted to, or as many favorites as they thought that they would, so they would blame it on, oh, it was the time of day that I posted it. If it was the opposite and they got a lot of likes on their picture, a lot of favorites on their post, then they would most likely use an internal trait like, oh, it's because of my attractiveness or because I'm so witty. Another way that the attribution theory plays a role in our Web 2.0 lives today is through email. Now, most people have an iPhone where they could email from their iPhone or Android or other device, and most of the time it will sign off as sent from my iPhone or sent from my Android. Especially in professional settings, bosses and professors, they view this as maybe not the most respectful thing. Like they could be thinking that, oh, well, you emailed me back, but you were busy doing something else. You were away from your desk, or you weren't at your computer. But if you use it from a laptop and it says sent from and it had a company or a brand name, that could be used to boost you up a little bit as well. Those also play a role in the halo and the horn effect in the attribution theory. Especially when you meet someone for the first time and have a good first impression, they could give you a halo effect. And if you send an email that they might view as poorly, they would be like, oh, well, he sent it from his iPhone, but he must have been really busy because he would never do this. But if you met someone and it was a bad interview, then they sent from their iPhone, be like, oh, that was so typical of them, send it from their iPhone, like, of course they weren't at their computer, of course they weren't there. Another way that we can better use the attribution theory is to be conscious of when we are on our social media platforms, how we perceive what other people are posting and how we think about sharing our own posts. Men and women use social media in different ways. Men use it to start new relationships, and women use it to maintain relationships. And when you're posting things and you want to get the best feedback, I think that it's very important to be informed about your audience and the groups of people that you're trying to reach. And when you are using the attribution theory and thinking more of putting yourself in other people's shoes, then you'll be able to reach a much broader audience. You'll be able to connect with so many more people, and that would be better for you personally and your business. Thank you.